Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is the Ace Attorney Chronicles Adventures. This is my first ever playthrough of the Ace Attorney Chronicles Adventures. Look at this happy bunch of people. Two of these people should clearly not be here. We've established this at this point. I'm having a great time with this case, as I always do. I think that this, I think that I will always prefer the characters of Phoenix Wright because, I'm so attached to them at this point. But I think the style and the kind of, music and, the way that everything, is kind of presented in this game is incredible. It's probably the best I've seen of the series so far, and I haven't even played most of the series, so I guess we're going to see in other games too. But let's see about the jurors' contentions. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he?
If he said a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it could only been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Well, his voice, I really don't care. What was his voice again? It was like, I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books.
Yes, nice shop, Dad, but bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
Huh? Okay. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. What? When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant had then fled the scene. I must say I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear. Even the judge appears convinced of innocence and assuming his guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruto, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their mind. Well, four of them at least. Yeah, we don't have to change four minds. Yes, okay, exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Rinosuke, you can do it.
Oh, here we go. Mr. Gregson in the background.
The presentation of this game is so good. The art style is so good.
UI is fantastic too. Here we go. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself. If he said the woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim. The man would have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind. Was she? How dreadful. Wait, can you press? You can press people too. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up? So yeah, we should. This guy's not being truthful then. He's not saying anything. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too. And so is my family's. Well, actually, you couldn't understand, but a labourer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. And neither do the wife and kids. This is why we band together for workers' rights.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs to be doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and centre. They're after cheap labour to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's hard to slog from dawn till dusk, it is.
So, you're out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. That book's...
Oh my lord. What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Mearsham Street it was.
Mearsham Street. On the map, Mr. Naruto, there are only three named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add the information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point there? Can we just get this business over with now?
Please, sir. It's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
We have something. We have something already.
On the day it happened, it was digging up Mearsome Street. So let's check the correct here. Mearsome Street is... That's the wrong thing. Mearsome Street is this street, so he couldn't pass up by here because there was road works. Okay, I'm going to pitch you against... Here, there's someone here. I remember there's someone talked about it. They were digging up Mearsome... What was it? This one. This one. Because he said he wouldn't have gone around. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel? Explain yourself.
Please don't point at me. It wasn't me, I swear.
What? I just want to get this done and dusted. I feel bad for him, dude. Like, imagine what workers can do. Workers, like, we're still not perfectly, you know, well paid nowadays as laborers. But there's no such thing as unskilled work as well, like, so it's like, and like, the way I look at this is that, like his job, for example, of digging up the roads, you hand a freaking, you hand a CEO all the tools to dig up the road. Probably take him, like, twice as long, maybe even 3 times as long to figure it out. It's not easy, like, you know, I couldn't do it, like my father's in construction as well. My dad is in construction, and my dad's granddad. Well, juror number 3.
Me, sir, what do you mean?
Oh, he's moving! Juror number 5's words are now just extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Nasumi visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Mearsome Street, making it impassable, which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Mearsome Street and down Briar Road.
Oh yes, of course. Wait, what do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must net a good 2 yards or more of this pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back the other way.
So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken a longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes,
yes, I suppose he must have.
Oh, I suppose that might be right, eh?
We're going to press number 6 as well, I think. Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But, we see now that he had no choice.
Yes. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. If only someone had told me to wait before doing this. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened.
There we go. That's all. No, we need. He's going to change it to juror number 5 as well, isn't it?
Oh, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say.
We just need 2 more. And I think we can have, like, I think number 6 is going to be involved in it for sure, because his testimony was also very weird.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's straightened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if those current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one or more clue or dispenser or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely. Yes, this is exactly what we've got to do. Van Zieks is looking up to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. So where's it? Number 6 again. He was because it was what he said was like very your books. Yes, nice shop. So we have to like talk about. He's talking about the bookshop. He didn't give us full information about the bookshop here or what happened or what he thinks happened. Sorry.
What did you say? What is it, puppet man?
No. What I said was hold it. I still love the moving up with the armband. It's such a cool way of doing it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out the books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. The same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down the Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and dunked my head. It's always worse after snow stops falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
That's right. I live in Cornpipe.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Did he think it was... Oh! Same outfit, dude. You have the same outfit.
Heading down Calabash Road is the quite quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add the information to your formal statement. It may as well be extremely significant.
Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
This is my type of humor. I love him. You've changed 2 jurors' minds, Naruto. Yes, just 2 more to go. Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here. I wish you know what to do a societal takedown. I suppose the words will have to suffice now. It's funny because I find this game to be like a million times easier than any of the original trilogy. I think it's just because the original trilogy was all about like, you know, and as most older games were all about like, you know, there was no kind of like, it was like you do you know, you have to do you. He said a woman in green. Yeah, this is what we're going to be pitting against each other. Pit against this.
Objection.
So I feel like they kind of give you a lot of information in this game that's like, you know, you got this. Those 2 statements clearly showing a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
Whatever do you mean, sir?
He's like, I don't care. I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It was not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact in which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we're all aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. Objection time.
Carmen in the court. Can we be sure of that, madame?
Whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him the day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my. My goodness, you mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to the hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That's entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that.
My goodness me.
Hey, sorry? You need a pee?
Okay. Still funny. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in green in the overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsumi saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. So good. So good. It's so much fun. This is such a great mechanic.
You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to roam it about there, we would have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What did you say about to me? Is it a crime for an elderly to walk the streets these days, Is it a crime to slip on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it?
It's not, dude. You accept yourself. You look lovely, you look beautiful. Don't listen to these idiots.
My lord, I do hope I won't cause any inconvenience, but
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind, is it?
I love this dude. This is my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Well, that summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes 2, the noes 4, so the noes have it not guilty, they say, which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Are you objecting? You objecting? Huh? Don't break that wine glass, okay? If you break that wine glass, you're an idiot. I got him. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks.
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
The mistake I credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Whatever do you mean?
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth. Yeah, exactly. Don't try and twist this. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of pavement which you excavated?
That's right, they took me all day, and they paid me a measly tuppence for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance 2 yard represents? Yeah, it's 2 backyards. What a fool. What a dumbo. It's 2 backyards.
Oh, well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Like I said.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate figure. But he was so nervous about everyone. Why would he go where there's like a bunch of like construction work? That doesn't make any sense. You know, like, you get what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. If he's like so nervous about, like, and has so much anxiety about everyone, why would he like do that? It doesn't make a lick of sense. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of troubles with this guy now, but honestly, I'm excited because it's actually very fun. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What?
And you perchance erect a sign to prevent the pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have been of a hope of passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over all the time.
So kids just jumped right over. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. I feel like this is like the weak... He is such a weak lawyer. I'm sorry for ever like thinking he was good. He's so weak. That is such a weak thing to say. Isn't it? Like, that's like... Like, you imagine being in court and being like, yeah, he could have. You know, Your Honor, in fairness, he could have.
Is that true, is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accuser found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodging, Mr. Nessamy walked down Briar Road.
But they... Oh my god. But they didn't... But we didn't we like find out they were from a different bookstore and he wasn't there in that bookstore that day?
Oh no, they're from your books, I guess. An old man.
Cool, man, you can talk.
Exactly. Get him. You said around 5 o'clock on the day in question you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say it as I remember.
You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was the old man that was that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Order, order! Lord Van Zieks, explain yourself.
My lord,
If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer during the summation examination?
I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he has no doubt came for. I beat you already. I want him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. I agree. We agree on something again. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Oh, he's taking off the cape. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord, the prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Oh, there's more witnesses.
Granted. Bailiff, bring forward the witnesses.
It's next witnesses? Mr. Naruto, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Oh, no. Yes, I remember, one of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zieks brings to the stand as his witness, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. Who's he bringing to the stand? Man, the designs in this game are perfect! They're so good! They're so good. Right? Like, I find them to be absolutely amazing. Witness, please state your names and occupations for the court. Oh my god!
Constable Royal Beach, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
Oh my god, Rolly.
Oh, Mrs. Beats. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say this young town's hero's wife.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been... we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary on only the other day.
Oh, Rolly. No. It was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honourable occupation, patrolling the beat is most demanding work in the world. Have you ever worked as a... Calvin, think of a comeback. Think of a job. Think of a job that's harder just to get him. Have you ever worked as a... Stripper? You Dumbo? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers charge some 20 miles a day, you know. The patrol, boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check the meters are reading true. By the way, that wasn't a joke against people who like dance for a living. You know, you do you, and I think it should be like it's real work, you know what I mean? And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lights.
There are a number of items on the list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. But the London Bobby is a man of honour. And a man of slumber. And on the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction. And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mrs. Beat?
That's right, isn't it, Rowley?
Oh, she's in love.
Constable Royal Beach, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
What a great witness he's going to be. I love him. He's my favorite. He's my favorite witness so far.
I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir.
He's so tired. what the witnesses saw. I just love, like, in the designs of this game, like, they keep being, like, really unique. They haven't run out of, like, really fantastic designs. Like, the thing is, like, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna... Okay, listen to me now. Okay, listen to me. I'm not being bad, okay? Okay, I'm not being bad. But I really feel like... that AAA games don't have fantastic designs anymore. I feel like the big exclusive games that a lot of companies bring out that are AAA games, I'm not talking about like Nintendo games or anything like that, I feel like sometimes it's always just kind of the same freaking shite. And I'm sorry for being so mean about it, but I think sometimes just like big burly dude with a beard, or it's a girl who is, big and tough as well, which is nothing wrong with either of those. But I'm saying that, like, I'll remember these designs forever, and these designs will be never dated. Games that came out in 2013, 2014 that were supposed to be the height of, like, graphics, they look dated now because graphics keep updating every single year, and graphical quality keeps updating every year, while art style is something that stays true forever. And this is what we have here with these characters. A pure, amazing art style.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Riley was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog and pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over the cut, of course, and then went for help at the nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rowley and I both saw him clear as day.
There's not one lie here, though. Like, they're not being intentionally, like, evil or, like, bullshitting. Like, there's not one lie here. I knew I could count on the Pete's. I knew it. The Pete's are my friend. I knew I could count on them. Oh, gee, this policeman's wife claimed to have positively identified Mr. Natsumi at the scene. If the testimony is true, the alternate course of events that you establish in your summation examination will be quashed. It's a death knell, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate beckoning. Ben chancing on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh, I know. But I still managed to go for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
You two are beautiful together. You two are absolutely beautiful together. Gosh, the life of London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed, however, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may as well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt, the accused Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except, that man's so tired, his wife had to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense. Commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Oh my god, look at these two together. They're actually adorable. They're actually so cute. What the witness saw. I'm not sure what to really press here, so we might just like press everything and see where it goes. I don't really have everything. I don't think they're lying. Hold it. I guess we don't have to press this, but anyway, like, whatever. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rowley looks ever so handsome in his uniform.
Oh, it sees you down to the ground, doesn't it, Darren? Like, oh my god. Oh my god. They're so cute.
What? I just finished my beat. Pad and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. No, it's adorable.
Oh no, really, I must have found you in uniform.
Oh.
Sometimes I don't recognize you when you see you in plain clothes.
Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. Let them role play stuff. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you finish your beat the day, correct? Maybe this is relevant.
That's right, sir. Yes, although I was fit to drop, to be honest, I have to spend the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and the evil queen to the end.
What's that now?
My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It is the noble founding principles of the folks written on it. It is a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. To patrol the streets of London, town, and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I'll cover 20 miles every single day without fail, without a grumble.
You should grumble a little bit, dude. You should definitely grumble a little bit. Look at your clothes. It's all destroyed. Grumble a tiny bit.
Oh, they have matching scarves!
Ah! Oh my god. They have matching scarves. Because I know that plotting on my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then.
But sir, just on that particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Miss B put out up, Lord, we're being married to a Bobby like me, and I want to show me the how much I care.
Oh my god. Okay, I believe him. So Zeki, you're going to prison. Okay?
Oh my god!
I agree. Susanna, what a charming couple. The young lovers is joining behold. Oh my god. If a little over the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happens next.
Anyway, 2 silhouettes appeared out of the fog and the pavement in front of us.
Press this as well, I suppose. Press everything, why not?
2 silhouettes? That's right. They were coming toward us, walking up the bar road in the opposite direction.
Oh, such a cool piece of art. Holy hell. Wait, that's Silhouette. That's Edgeworth. It's Leon. They were a plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man.
That does sound exactly like the victim as a picture in the print. And like Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately it does. I'm just certain at the time there was nobody else nearby.
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are street lights on the Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Tug on that, tug on him.
What? Oh yes, that's right, of course. There was a light of fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight and you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's a street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrian...
Oh yeah, you go sleep there, Rolly, okay, buddy? We'll handle this. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir. As a cop who spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets, I do swear to it, sir.
Look at her. Look, she loves him. She loves him so much.
I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, Pat.
They're still maintaining there was no one else other than the victim of the attacker. I'm starting to seem like it must know what really happened. It's beginning to seem like there is nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Nasumi, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonable clear idea of the situation before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course.
Oh, sorry, we're going to press the third statement. We're pressing every statement just because, honestly, like, all these are pretty true. So I'm not sure which one. Yeah, they're all very true. And I'm probably going to see some more cute stuff. Scattered something? What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then, when we got closer, we realised what it was. Didn't we, darling? Tuggy Wuggy.
What?
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. It was some old books.
I see, old books.
Yes, sir, the cobbler dropped a number of them. All around where the victim laid on the pavement.
Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print.
That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
But we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Everything.
I believe him. I think we should just accept we lost this case. Anyone else you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that his unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please continue.
Yes, sir. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at the nearby police box.
Again, nothing they're saying is lying. I'm just pressing everything just because I don't think anything is said. I think everything they're said is pretty truthful. What's attached to my foot here? Okay. Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I'm a proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Tug on him.
Yeah, what? Oh, yes,
That's right. I asked Mr. Beats to go. I was off duty by that point, but a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of the crime is a task of considerable importance. You are the only good cop in the world.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I'll tell her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean by exactly the right police box?
Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia to wait to the police box for the beat that the incident fell under, so she could go and report it. I ran there as quickly as I could, and to ask for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of the two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making me blush, isn't he, darling? Yes, sir. What Patricia says, sir.
That's a good man, disagreeing with his wife. Good on you. Let's move on, shall we? And we only have one last statement, and nothing's come out of this. It was definitely a Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him clear as day. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? Oh, it took him. Oh!
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps is more than enough. And my husband already told you the fog was only a light, didn't he?
Yes, and what of the fog?
We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those who have to live with it, of course.
Of course it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand of the end of your own arm. At the end of your own arm.
Yes, alright, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? She can do whatever she wants. If they're into it, they're into it. The constant fog makes my eyes very sharp, you see.
That's why we can tell for sure and certain that it was a little Japanese man we saw. Can we, darling? What? Oh, yes, it was the accused, and no mistake. The mustache and hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable.
The cat-like eyes. Yeah, and again, like, I want to just explain, like, before anyone kind of, like, great drawing there of him, by the way, in that. Like, before anyone goes, like, oh, yeah, like, I think there's, like, you have to give a bit of leeway sometimes to some of these characters. Like, here's the thing. Racism in this sense is not okay ever. It's never been okay. And, like, calling, you know, say, like, the cat-like eyes and the snub, not all this stuff, like, to describe another foreign person is never okay. But to explain it, as I've explained before, this was just, like, common. It wasn't even considered, like, bad, like, by most people. Like, you know, you would, like, even up until like 40 years ago, people would still describe each other like this. But the only problem is that things have gotten better. They're not perfect. So we can still talk about this way of talking about someone as it is bad. Just because it's in the past doesn't mean it's not bad. It's like, you know, when your grandmother or your grandfather or something. My grandparents are like extremely like progressive. Like they're constantly like talking about like how like things are getting better for everyone, and they love it how it's getting better for everyone. But like some, you know, you'll have an uncle who's like, man, send all those people home, you know? And it's like, Jesus, dude. And you have to like call it out when you hear it. As far as this couple of testimonies are concerned, there can't be any question. It was Saseki they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think? Yeah, there's nothing really out of the question, is it? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beats saw what they say they saw. They don't seem dishonest. Mr. Nasumi running away from the scene of Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no, then what do we do? If Kazuma-sama were here... What are you trying to say? I think we would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Their statement about seeing Mr. Nasumi is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate. Okay. Alright. Put simply, we must focus on finding the discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial might reach an early end to an early unfavorable conclusion. Why do I always seem to be so up against it? Oh, we have to go again.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
You can ask me something next time. That's going to end the video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. I love these two. I love them so much. And you can definitely ask me something, Patricia, next time. Ask me whatever you want, and so can Mr. Beat over here as well. Rolly.